So the Atlanta Falcons season is officially over. It is playoff time. Playoffs are around the corner. So in this video, I'm going to grade Desmond Ridder's performance over the last 4 games. Against the New Orleans Saints, he went 13 for 26, 97 yards passing. He was sacked 4 times, had 6 attempts rushing, and 38 yards total rushing. He did not play very well to me, obviously. It's funny, the first play of the game, and it didn't really surprise me all that much, and it probably didn't surprise a whole lot of people. First play, he throws the ball down the field, down the left sideline of the field. I thought that he looked pretty nervous. He couldn't really get into a rhythm. He almost had an interception that probably should have been picked off by the Saints. I thought he seemed nervous, and what stood out to me the most, and I'll get into this more as the video goes on, was it seemed like when the pocket collapsed, he panicked even more, because I think he was already, like I said, pretty nervous. I know it sounds like a broken record, but I think when the pocket collapsed, even for a little bit, he started to panic and he started to freak out, and he was trying to scramble, but he was scrambling in the wrong direction. There were times where he would run into his offensive lineman's back and he just didn't know what to do. He was kind of like a deer in headlights. But in fairness to him, I thought Arthur Smith didn't really do a good job of creating a game plan for him to help him get comfortable. I thought he was going to start off with some easy throws to help get him in rhythm. It felt like Arthur Smith kind of just threw him out there and kind of let him swim on his own. You know, just threw him out there in the deep end, and I thought he was going to implement the game plan that he's been utilizing all season long, which is run the ball, dominate at the line of scrimmage, get the opposing linebackers from the other team to bite on the play designs, the play actions, have Ridder do bootlegs, hit wide open wide receivers going across the middle of the field. But he did do that against Baltimore and the next 2 games. So against Baltimore, Ridder went 22 for 33, 218 yards passing. He was sacked 2 times and had a fumble, but he didn't lose it. I thought in this game, he played a little bit better. In this game, Arthur Smith definitely utilized the game plan of trying to dominate at the line of scrimmage, giving the ball to the running backs, create play actions, and have him complete some easy throws. As the game went along, he started to get comfortable. I felt there were times where he would stand in the pocket and deliver the ball with confidence. And this was one of the themes with him as he was playing the last 4 games of the season, was he would start off slow and then kind of get hot towards the end of the game. So in the Saints game, he started off slow, but then towards the end of the game, I thought he got comfortable, and kind of the same thing with the Baltimore Ravens game, where he started off shaky, but then was able to get comfortable and deliver the ball with some accuracy and some confidence. In the game against Arizona, Ridder went 19 for 26, 169 yards. He was sacked once. He did have a fumbled snap, but thought in this game, once again, Arthur Smith utilizing the game plan with him, dominating at the line of scrimmage, and allowing him to create some easy throws, short easy throws, mainly in the flat. As the game went along, I thought he did a good job of pushing the ball down the field, and I thought he played, okay. Against Baltimore, I thought he played okay. And finally, the last game of the season, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 19 for 30, 224 yards, 2 touchdown passes. He was sacked twice, and he had a fumble. Thought against Tampa, that was probably the best he's looked. Again, he started off slow, but he did a pretty good job of making plays with his feet and delivering the ball with accuracy, extending the plays. I was more so impressed with his ability to escape from the pocket and deliver the ball on time, especially against a good, talented Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. So what grade would I give Desmond Ridder? I'd say a C-. And did he show that he could be a superstar franchise quarterback for this team going forward? I don't know. It's hard for me to say that based off of 4 games, because he played 4 games. I don't really consider this to be his rookie season, even though he is a rookie, but I'll have to base that off of 2 full seasons. Assuming he starts next season and the season after that, then base it off of that 3rd season. That's how I grade players from when they come into the league. They have to show me something. I have to see them progress their first 2 seasons, because you're not always going to be able to come in and just dominate and put up crazy numbers like you did when you were in college or in high school. There are different levels to sports, and when it comes to being a professional athlete, that's the highest level. I can't just expect a guy to just come in and just dominate from the get-go. I have to see what he does his first 2 seasons, and then that 3rd season, he has to show me something. I have to see something. So I'd have to give him 3 full seasons, assuming he starts 3 full seasons. Then I can make my decision on whether or not he'd be a franchise quarterback. But watching these games, the things that stood out to me the most, the things that stood out to me the most was his pocket awareness. I thought that when the pocket started to break down, or even if it broke down a little bit, or even if he saw a team bring an extra pass rusher at the line of scrimmage, like they bring 5, bring some pressure. There were times where the offensive line stood its ground, but he would be too quick to pull the trigger and let the ball go or try and escape. When he would try to escape, he would go in the wrong direction or choose a pretty bad running lane to try and get through. So his pocket awareness to me stood out the most. I think he has to work on that, on trying to be patient and trying to be calm, because there was a couple of plays during the last 4 games, like for example in Baltimore, I believe it was the tight end Anthony Frisker. He's running into the flat and the pocket is kind of closing in on him a little bit, so he panics and throws it to Anthony in the flat. But if he's able to be patient and allow Drake London to complete his route, he could hit Drake London for a big completion over the middle. So pocket awareness is a thing that I think he has to work on, and being calm as well. Another thing that he has to work on is being comfortable of taking some chances down the field. There were some reads to where he could have been able to make some big completions down the field, but he chose to throw it underneath, throw it into the flat, play it safe. And I would say he also needs to work on learning how to manipulate defenders with his eyes. I think he doesn't do a good job of rotating his head around. He has his eyes locked on one receiver. If he continues to do that, then teams are going to pick up on that and be able to jump into his throwing lanes and pick him off for easy interception. So pocket awareness, being comfortable taking chances down the field, and learning how to rotate his head, go through his reads, and manipulate defenders with his eyes. I think that's what he needs to work on. But besides that, I think he has shown that he does have a quick release. In a Tampa Bay game, I think he realized, or I think he displayed, that he doesn't have to put a whole lot of power behind his throws. Like there was one where he escaped the pocket and he could have had an easy completion on the right sideline, but he overthrew it, put too much power behind his passing attempt. It resulted in an incompletion. But there's another play where he escaped the pocket, bought some time, put a little touch on his pass to complete a 4th down conversion. I thought to myself, that's what you want to see, and I think he's realizing that he doesn't have to always throw the ball so freaking hard. He can put a little touch on his pass. I thought he did a good job of taking care of the football, not turning it over, even though he had a couple fumbles. But as far as like interceptions, he did a pretty good job of taking care of the football and not allowing defenders to make a play on the ball. And he showed that he can push the ball down the field. Desmond Ridder, I can't really say that. It's funny, the criticism that I'm giving him right now in this video probably doesn't really mean anything, because I just feel like going off of 4 games, it's hard for me to say what I think he is. It's hard for me to say he's a franchise quarterback or he's not a franchise quarterback going off of 4 games. I just don't think that's fair. For me, I have to see 3 full seasons of Desmond Ridder. 3 full seasons, and then I'll be able to make that decision on whether I think he is the guy or Atlanta will have to start looking for another quarterback. So those are my thoughts on Ridder. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. That is it. I am out.